Yeah. Okay. Hello again. It's us. Theory of the person. Theories of the person. In the I'm Kopano, Ratele.
I'm Desmond Painter.
And in the last video, we spoke about. You spoke. I asked you a question, right? About whether you feel like you're succeeding or like a failure in teaching this class, because we're not teaching. I felt like we're not teaching enough social analysis.
Yes.
This focus on the person, on personality,
Yes.
excludes to a large extent social analysis. So what do you, I mean, I want us to talk about this failure.
Yeah. I mean, I do think it does feel like a failure in the sense that I feel I approached the module wanting to teach something about how psychology shapes ideals of personhood, but then we get caught inside psychology. We're again teaching them, and this is what Rogers said, and this is what Maslow said, what Freud said, and then we kind of reproduce what it is that we're trying to work against, and just sort of, and it always struggles. It's caught between a conventional personality psychology module and something else. But you're new to the module, so I don't know how you experienced it.
Oh no, at some moments I feel really frustrated because I have to teach them what Maslow said. You have to teach them what Freud said. Teach them what Rogers said. By the way, some of the stuff that Rogers or Maslow, Freud is really cool stuff. But I find that in class I have to make a lot of examples outside of the textbook.
Absolutely.
Perhaps we're going to do another video on the textbook, just to say, well, here are the conditions that made this kind of thinking possible.
Yes.
But because students are, what Maslow says, even in the exam or test, we have to ask them what's in the textbook, because they're not writing essays.
Absolutely. The thing you just said, to some extent, is the thing that interests me. What are the conditions that make this kind of theory possible? Why is there Freud? Why is there Rogers? Then that's the interesting stuff. To talk about what kind of world produced the possibilities.
And what kind of world this kind of thinking produces.
Yes, exactly. That's the other part. What world produces it, and once it's there, how does it shape us? What are the options for self-understanding, for relationship
In the world.
in the world?
In the world.
What does it do to us? What do we use it for? Who uses us? Who uses it to do things to us?
Yes.
But that's the stuff we don't get to. Really.
Yeah.
That feels to me the frustrating, but it's a bit of a failure because then we also only assess whether they know what Freud said, what Rogers said. So that to me is a sense of failure.
I mean, in the long run, I mean, it feels like it's a small thing, right? It feels like it's a small thing, teachers are reflecting on the failure and all of that. I mean, but is there like a cumulative injustice, a contribution to an accumulating injustice of teaching psychologists that, that a person is, for instance, that stuff happens inside, rather than there's always this movement, but also that people who are writing about psychology are really begin this. I'm using the word injustice loosely here, but they're doing a disservice.
I think there is, to some extent. I think that psychologists, even I've spoken to clinical psychologists, who say that they realize too late in their training, what's problematic about the way we frame experience and we think about person. They realize too late what the alternatives might be for thinking, personal relationships, experience, and so on.
I find it, by the way, in some of the specific classes I'm leading, that I'm referencing, for instance, novels.
Yes.
I spoke about Sally Rooney the other day, or philosophy. Pauline Hontonji has been in my head about African philosophy and the texts and all of that. Is it confusing then? Is this good?
Interesting.
I am enjoying it. I told them today, by the way. I enjoy this, and I hope that when I refer to Bishop Tujo, I was talking about the book of forgiveness. Because when I refer to this, that you will pick it up and see how it works alongside or challenges what Rogers or Freud says.
It's an interesting thing. I always wondered, for me, it makes sense and there's something desirable about breaking out of psychology, making links. And I never know, if you're a young student and you still want to get into psychology, do you appreciate the lecturer's attempt to break out of it?
Yeah.
You say, no, let's go to the movies or let's go to the novels. So maybe there's a sense of that people still perceive psychology as something that they want to get into, that they can have it in a way that will be beneficial career-wise.
Okay.
What is it they expect? I don't know.
Yeah, please drop us an email or a message, a comment about if you are a student of psychology, do you appreciate this breaking out of this boundaries of what psychology is and what a person is? Because that is interesting to me, but this idea of failure it troubles me in a productive way.
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay.
Thank you.
See you. Bye-bye.
Okay.